So here we are again, once in another pickle. Yes, that is, the government announced yesterday that they were stepping up preparations to prepare for a no deal. Now, at this point, you should really wonder if sensible heads should start to prevail, because think at any point in your life or career where you have gone, I'm going to do something, and I know that it's going to be, I've discovered that it's going to be a bad outcome, but I'm still going to continue on with it. No one in their entire life would continue on with that, especially in this area. So the majority of people in the area that I live in, again, I'm from Barnsley, so we were, I think we were third, we might have been second in the table, but I know we were something like 80-20 to leave. And especially with the impact assessment reports that have said, if we leave on a no deal, this area, Yorkshire, will lose 16% of its GDP. 16% in this area alone. Are you seriously, all these MPs, and Dan Jarvis in particular, are you still willing to say, I'm still going to go and vote for this, even though I know of the catastrophic outcomes this is going to happen? MPs in this area, especially Yorkshire, should not be backing a no deal. At that point, they should be just like, right, there's no Brexit. It's one of the things I've constantly said for the past 2 years, especially the past couple of months, and I've been reiterating this constantly, is, look guys, these past 2 years have proved one thing, and one thing alone. We already have the best deal possible, and that is our current membership of the European Union. It doesn't give we shouldn't give a flying rat's ass at all about the referendum. Right? Governments have ignored referendums before, they can do again. So, the government should just go, okay, we're just not going to do it. The government and MPs are under no obligation to follow a referendum. They are under no obligation. I want to make that clear, despite what people say, they don't have a will at all. And there are going to be people who go, oh, but what about damaging our democracy? Our democracy is already damaged due to Brexit. You've had Theresa May and our entire government so bloated over Brexit that real issues in this country have been ignored, especially universal credit, which is being pushed out continuously by William Hague and the Tories. This is damaging and even killing people. Even the UN report that came out was absolutely vilified universal credit and this government for for its continuous rollout. The housing crisis. Since the coalition government a couple of years ago, there hasn't been a housing minister in position longer than 8 months. Everyone knows we are in a housing crisis, and we are lurching towards a housing disaster, because steps to avoid that disaster need to take place now, or else no one is going to be able to afford any houses at all. That will be the case that you're in. And those two issues essentially are critical, absolutely critical to this country. You've also got stagnating wages. That has been piled upon because of Brexit. And, you know, wages are still not back at the level they were before the 2008 crash. And it was austerity, the main policy of the Conservative government, that is to cause for a lot of lack of investment, and councils, local councils, have been forced to bear the brunt and the anger of this, to the point where this year you have had one council, a Conservative council, I want to point that out, to go bankrupt. You then have another 50 councils who have said, we are going to go bankrupt at this rate. We cannot provide essential services to our communities with the nothing measly table scraps you have given us. Homelessness is increasing around the country. Child poverty rates are increasing. You know, this is a serious issue that is being ignored because of Brexit. And people think that if we somehow leave the European Union, this is going to get better. It's not. Because a lot of companies, a lot of investment is going to leave this country. And the people who are pushing hardest for this Brexit want to take away your workers' rights and almost everything that you have gained. Maternity leave, equal pay, equal pay protection. You know, all this is now in jeopardy because you want to leave the European Union because of a perceived notion that the UK doesn't have sovereignty anymore. Even the UK government has said, sorry, we're sovereign. We are still a sovereign nation in the white paper they released. And if people want to boil it down to immigration, immigration does not contribute to... sorry. Immigration has not contributed to any of the bad negative effects. Unfortunately, it's been a lot of really racist propaganda that has got people to vote against their own best interests. You know, there are a ton of jobs out there for people to do. It's just a lot of people, especially in the north, don't have the opportunities to be able to do it because they lack the educational facilities. They lack the ability to be able to write a good CV. They lack the ability to actually be able to get their job because of lack of investment in transport infrastructure. It's all about providing people opportunities. And Brexit is going to take a lot of opportunities away. This is why a no-deal scenario is not acceptable. So I encourage you all today to go email your MPs, you can even text them, you can even ring them up and basically say to them, no deal is not an option. It is no Brexit rather than no deal. That is the message we need to start sending.